Hey guys, welcome to Sela's Social Studies. Today we're going to be going over or starting Chapter 6. And what Chapter 6 involves is two groups of people who were very, very influential in the starting of our nation, the creation of our government. Now, these people are what we call Federalists and Anti-Federalists. These are people, now we have to put them versus each other because one wants one thing and one wants something totally different. So let's go ahead and break down how influential these two groups of people were on our nation and what type of decisions and compromises they come to.
Hey, it's Sela's Social Studies.
First, what you'll see here is a picture on the left. That is a picture of our Constitution, our supreme law of the land, the ideas of our government that sets up our national government. And what you see is the Constitution with a thumbs up and a thumbs down with a nice slash in between them. This is going to go ahead and tell you who those people are. So Federalists and Anti-Federalists argue mostly about the type of government that the United States is going to have upon its creation. The Anti-Federalists oppose a strong national government in favor of stronger state and localized governments. These Anti-Federalists liked the Articles of Confederation. These Anti-Federalists liked colonial governments, that the power was within the state. They had the most amount of power. They opposed the Constitution the way it was written. They did not want to ratify or approve the Constitution the way it was written. They felt that it gave the government too much power. Now, Federalists, on the other hand, believe that the United States should have a strong, national, centralized government where everybody has to go meet who makes the decisions for the good of the nation. These Federalists wanted to ratify or approve the Constitution the way it was originally written, giving the power to the federal or centralized government. You're going to see a lot of repeating of this information because it's very important. You have to know the differences between Federalists and Anti-Federalists and what they wanted. So here we go. Thumbs up again. Federalists, they wanted the national government to properly manage the debt and tensions that occurred after the Revolutionary War. They wanted the central government to control that. That is what they really wanted to happen. And who is the main Federalist? None other than the guy down there himself, not me, the guy next to me, Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton was born in a British colony in the Atlantic Ocean or the Caribbean Sea, St. Kitts. He comes to America. He really believes in the American way. He wants the rich, the wealthy, the elite. That's kind of the way Hamilton was. He wanted to be part of the elite. He wanted the elite to run the nation, almost kind of monarchical, just a step below. All right, so he really felt that the government should have all the power. On the flip side of that, who are the Anti-Federalists? Boo, Constitution the way you are. They were mostly made up of farmers living in small rural areas, specifically in the southern part of the United States. Some of these prominent Anti-Federalists were Thomas Jefferson, James Monroe, Patrick Henry, Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death, and Richard Lee. Something you have to know about Thomas Jefferson: he is a slave owner. He owns a plantation in Virginia at a place called Monticello. He has a large plantation, lots of slaves. Virginia did not incur a whole lot of debt from the Revolutionary War, a lot less than some of the northern states like Massachusetts and New York, but they felt that they shouldn't have to pay all that money back. But know that you have Hamilton, who is a New Yorker. Hamilton lives up in New York. Okay, and these Anti-Federalists like Jefferson happen to live in the South. And you'll see that kind of come up and really bother one person in particular. So let's go through these Federalists again. Thumbs up, Constitution. They mostly lived in areas that were urban, like cities, specifically northern cities, usually made up of merchant traders and businessmen, kind of like what Hamilton wanted. He wanted this elite group of rich to run this country. Federalists wanted to ratify or approve the Constitution just the way it was, giving all that power to the federal government. They wanted a strong economy, based on business and trade. And Hamilton will take that all the way up to the First National Bank. Some of these prominent Federalists, people, of course, again, like I said, who normally live in these big cities, which one of these guys actually is totally opposite of that. And you'll see Hamilton, New Yorker, right? John Jay, John Adams, these guys live in the North. George Washington is the only really true Southerner there who is one of the Federalists, but he is thrown into that Federalistic party when he becomes the first president of the United States. Here is that one guy that I said is kind of like, I don't know what to do, right? There it is. I don't know what to do. This guy right down here, that's James Madison. James Madison believed in both Federalist and Anti-Federalist ideas. And what do I mean by that? Originally, Madison was a Federalist. He supported the Federalist Papers. He was with Hamilton. He wrote these Federalist Papers to get the country to ratify or approve this Constitution. Just the way it is. I want you to sit there and approve this thing. But as time went on, James Madison kind of flipped the coin there and started supporting anti-Federalist ideas because James Madison is a Southerner who owns a plantation. And he starts becoming really good friends with Thomas Jefferson, both Virginians. So Jefferson starts putting his anti-Federalist ideas onto Madison and later starts supporting Jefferson when it comes to economic policies about the United States. James Madison is what we call the father of the Bill of Rights. He wrote the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. So he supported the Constitution the way it was. We have to pass it, approve it, ratify it the way it is. Ultimately flips into we cannot pass this Constitution, ratify this Constitution until the Bill of Rights is written. The Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments that support individual citizen rights of the country. So that's the difference between Federalists and Anti-Federalists. I gave you a couple of prominent Federalists and Anti-Federalists, the type of ideas that they agreed or disagreed upon. And next chapter or next section, we're going to go into two of the heavy hitters, Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson.